Hello students, welcome to class 12th online education. This video is for the subject economics, unit 4 government budget and the economy. Let us begin with the meaning of government budget. Government budget is the annual financial statement of estimated receipts and expenditure of the government over a fiscal year. Now what is fiscal year? Fiscal year is the financial year which runs from 1st April to 31st March. Now let us understand the objective of government budget. Now the first objective is redistribution of income and wealth. Government tries to reduce inequalities by imposing taxes on rich people and spending more on the welfare of the poor. So this is how that the budget ensures redistribution of income and wealth. The second objective is reallocation of resources. Government uses budgetary policy to allocate resources in such a manner that there is a balance between the goals of profit maximization and social welfare. So government can influence allocation of resources through tax concession or subsidies. So here government encourage investment. Government can give tax concession subsidies to the producers like to solar energy, impose heavy tax on production of liquor and tobacco. Government can also allocate the resources directly for the production of goods and services. So this is how that the government ensures both profit maximization and social welfare. Now the third objective is to maintain economic stability. Government budget is a tool to prevent economy from the inflation or deflation and to maintain economic stability. Next government budget objective is managing public enterprises. There are large number of public sector undertakings in the economy and these are established for social welfare of the public. The next government budget objective is economic growth. Government makes various provision in the budget to raise overall rate of saving and investment for economic growth. Now let us understand the structure of the Indian government budget. So here is the flow chart. Budget is divided into two parts. One it is budget receipts and another is budget expenditure. Now under budget receipts, it includes revenue receipts and capital receipts. On the other hand, budget expenditure includes revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Now revenue receipts includes tax and non-tax. And capital receipts includes the receipts like recovery of loans, borrowings and other liabilities. Tax includes both direct tax and indirect tax. So let us understand the complete structure of government budget in detail. Let us begin with the components of budget. Now here there are two components of budget, revenue budget and capital budget. Revenue budget consists of revenue receipts and revenue expenditure. These receipts and expenditure are of current financial year and related to day-to-day functioning of the government. Now capital budget consists of capital receipts and capital expenditure and these receipts and expenditure are related to assets and liabilities of the government. Now what comes under the budget receipts? Budget receipts refers to the estimated money receipts of the government from all sources during a given financial fiscal year and it broadly classified as revenue receipts and capital receipts. So here is the budget receipts flow chart divided into two components, revenue receipts and capital receipts. And revenue receipts further includes tax revenue and non-tax revenue. So let us understand these all in detail. Now what all things are included in revenue receipts? Revenue receipts are those receipts which neither create any liability nor lead to any reduction in assets of the government. So that is the very important criteria of the revenue receipts. They are regular and reoccurring in nature, and government receives them in normal course of activities. Revenue receipts includes tax and non-tax receipts. So let us understand the tax receipts. Tax receipts refers to the receipts from taxes and other duties imposed by the government. Example, income tax, wealth tax, GST, etc. Now, how we can define tax? Tax is a compulsory payment made by the people and firms to the government without reference to any direct benefit in return. So, this is what is known as tax. Now, here tax are classified into two main groups. One, it is direct tax and another is indirect tax. Now, let us understand the non-tax receipts. Receipts of the government from all other sources other than those of tax receipts are termed as non-tax revenue receipts. And these non-tax revenue receipts includes interest received on loans given by government to state government, union territories, private enterprises and general public. It also includes profits of public sector undertaking like railways, LIC, etc. Dividends received by government from its investment in other companies also included in the non-tax receipts. Fees and fines collected by the government such as license fees all are included in the non-tax receipts. Non-tax receipts also includes gifts and grants received by the government from foreign countries, foreign government or international organization. Now let us understand the capital receipts. Capital receipts refers to those receipts which either create a liability or cause a reduction in the assets of the government. And they are non-recurring and non-routine in nature. So the examples of capital receipts are borrowing and the other liabilities. So government borrows funds from public market, RBI, foreign government and international institutes like IMF, World Bank to meet its excess expenditure, and these are all included in the capital receipts because it increases liability of the government. Now, disinvestment is also included in capital receipts. Disinvestment raising funds by selling shares or equity holdings of the public sector units by the government in the market, and it leads to reduction in the asset of the government. Recovery of loan is also included in capital receipts. When the government recovers these loans from its debtor, its financial assets declines. So this is a part of capital receipts. Now let us understand the budgetary expenditure. Budgetary expenditure refers to the estimated expenditure of the government expected to be incurred under various heads during given fiscal year, and it is broadly classified into two groups, that is revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Now let us understand revenue expenditure in detail. Revenue expenditure refers to those expenditure which neither create any asset and nor cause any reduction in any liabilities of the government, and it is regular, reoccurring in nature. It is incurred on normal functioning of the government and provision of various services. So the examples of revenue expenditure are payment of salaries to the government employees, pension, interest payment, expenditure on the administrative services, defense services, health services, etc. Now what is capital expenditure? Capital expenditure refers to those expenditure which either create or increase an asset or cause a reduction in the liabilities of the government, and it is non-recurring in nature. It adds to the capital stock of the economy and increases its productivity through expenditures on long period development programs like construction of metros, flyovers, etc. So the different examples of capital expenditure are repayment of loans or borrowings because it reduces liabilities of the government, loans and advances given to state and union territories because it increases assets of the government, Expenditure on building road, flyover, factories, construction of metros, as it increases assets of the government, and expenditure of government on purchasing of property or assets like building machineries, etc., as it increases assets of the government. Now, after understanding the complete structure of the government budget, let us understand the budget deficit. Now, budget deficit refers to the excess of total expenditure over total receipts. So, we can understand budgetary deficit as total expenditure minus total receipt. In total expenditure, it is the addition of revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, and in total receipts, it is the addition of revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Now, let us understand the types of deficit, which includes revenue deficit, fiscal deficit, and primary deficit. Now, let us understand all the different types of deficit. So, let us understand the revenue deficit. The revenue deficit refers to the excess of government's revenue expenditure over revenue receipts. Its significances are: the revenue deficit includes only such transactions that affect the current income and expenditure of the government. When the government incurs a revenue deficit, it signifies that government's own revenue is insufficient to meet the normal functioning of government, and it implies that the government is dissaving and the deficit is covering by drawing up capital receipts, that is either through borrowings or disinvestment. Borrowing here may lead to inflationary tendencies, and covering revenue deficit through disinvestment reduces assets of the government. So these are the different significances of revenue deficit. Now let us understand fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit is a government budget, refers to the excess of government's total expenditure over its total receipts excluding borrowing, or we can understand as it is the excess of total expenditure over the sum of revenue receipts and non-debt capital receipts. So here is the equation: capital deficit is equals to total expenditure minus total receipts minus borrowing. Now let us understand the significances of fiscal deficit. It indicates the total borrowing requirements of the government from all sources during the budget year, and it shows the amount by which an economic's expenditure exceeds its receipts excluding borrowing. The fiscal deficit will have to be financed through borrowing, and borrowing by the government increases liabilities of principal amount and interest payment. Then interest payment leads to increase in revenue deficit, which in turn leads to increase in fiscal deficit. Thus, in order to cover up past debts, more loan need to be taken by the government, leading to debt trap. So borrowing from RBI through deficit financing leads to increase in money supply in the economy and creates inflationary pressure. Further, borrowing from rest of the world like foreign countries and international organization leads to foreign dependence and their interference in our economic policy, which is not a positive sign. Further, it may increase future liabilities, which hampers future growth and development prospects of the country. Now let us understand the primary deficit. It refers to the difference between fiscal deficit of the current year and interest payments of the previous borrowing. The significance is the borrowing requirement of the government includes interest obligation on accumulated debt. Primary deficit indicates how much borrowing are required by the government to meet expenses other than interest payments. Thus, it focuses on present fiscal imbalances, that is borrowing on account of current expenditure exceeding revenue. So here is the topic of government budget is over. Thank you.